Support for Radio Friends comes from Columbia Healthy Smiles, the dental office of husband and wife team Dr. Batson and Dr. Abe, offering comprehensive and customized care to patients of all ages. Learn more by calling 573-721-9039 or online at www.columbiahealthysmiles.com. Good morning and welcome to Radio Friends on Wednesday, January the 6th. Good to have you with us today. We're going to talk about stop human trafficking of Central Missouri. And you know, Nanette Ward has been on this program so many times talking about human trafficking. It is something that a lot of us don't really have it in our vocabulary on a daily basis because they think it doesn't affect us. But believe it or not, it is all around us here in Central Missouri. And we've got a board member from the Stop Human Trafficking of Central Missouri with us today, Ed Williams. Welcome to Radio Friends, Ed. And you also are with the Moberly Police Department, right?
No, it was the Audrain County Sheriff's Office.
Audrain County Sheriff's Office. Okay. Now, you're a board member with the organization. Let's just briefly explain to everybody what it is, Stop Human Trafficking of Central Missouri.
Stop Human Trafficking it's an organization that we like to spread awareness about this, I'll call it a pandemic. It's widespread. It's under the wire. It's not, widely talked about.
Right.
There are several victims that are afraid of telling what they know and what happens, what happens to them due to what happens to them. The grooming process. It
is more widespread in Central Missouri than most of us realize,
Absolutely.
Isn't it? And a lot of that is due to the fact that the interstate runs right down the middle of the state, and that is a hub for human trafficking.
It is.
How many victims would you say have been affected here, not just Central Missouri, but across our state?
That number is kind of hard to tell because it keeps growing. The number keeps growing. I would say thousands of victims.
You have a personal story. Do you feel you could share that with us?
Sure.
Go ahead.
Sure. Well, I'm from Mexico, Missouri, a little small town, a lot smaller than Columbia, Missouri. And you don't hear much about Mexico, but a lot of trafficking goes on, I would like to say, in our own backyards. And this happened in our own backyard. It happened to a family member of mine. She fell victim. She's no longer with us now. But she was trafficked in Mexico, and it was kept under the wire. We didn't know anything about it until after her death, and we found out through letters that she had written. And like I said, I spent 15 years in law enforcement and never heard of or even taken a report of trafficking. It's just that, that you kept under the wire that much.
Did this happen while you were still in law enforcement?
Yes.
And you had no idea?
No idea.
And she died because of this?
As a result of, yes. I believe, yes, as a result of that.
So how was she trafficked?
I believe through a friend, a boyfriend, something of that nature, someone that she knew. And that's how a lot of victims fall victim, is they're trafficked by someone that know, either a family member, a friend, stranger. A lot of times it's someone that they know. Okay,
so this is really kept, as you use the phrase, under the wire. What are the warning signs that people can be aware of to say, maybe there's something not quite right here?
If they act out of the ordinary, they change the way they dress, they come, seclude themselves from others, their attitude, their behaviors, things of that nature, if they self-withdraw.
So how do you approach someone if you're suspecting this?
You can approach them, but they're going to be very unwilling to talk for the most part.
They're frightened. They're frightened for their own safety.
For their own safety and the safety of their friends and family. Because when the grooming process is very, very intense, and it's, they get to know a lot about their victim, as far as the family, their kids, their their habits.
So they're concerned for the safety of their family if they talk?
Absolutely, as well as themselves.
And you're saying that these thugs would come after the family?
Yes. You
have no doubt?
No doubt.
So then, how do you fight this?
It's a struggle. It's very hard. We have volunteers. We have people that are in place to help fight that, and protect the victims.
And protect their family,
yes.
too.
Yeah.
Because as soon as the word's out, then their name is out there.
Yes.
You have several events coming up in January. Do you want to talk about those?
Absolutely. As we mentioned before, January is National Slavery and Human Trafficking Prevention Month and Awareness Month, which was designated by President Obama. And within that month, we are going to have an awareness presentation. We do have several of those via Zoom. Mm-hmm. And a way to get a link to our Zoom meetings, which are free and open to the public, you can go to the email address, help@stophumantraffickingmo.com.
Okay, that is help
at
stophumantraffickingmo. That's all one word.
All one
help
word.
at stophumantraffickingmo.com. And if you go to that email address, you can get a link.
Yes. To the Zoom meeting.
For the Zoom.
Yes.
And when will the Zoom event be?
Be next month at 6 p.m.
6 o'clock?
Yes, 6 o'clock.
Okay.
Yes, January 7th.
January the 7th at 6 o'clock. Go to that email address, and you can get the Zoom link.
Yes.
Is there anything else that you want to mention? Are you looking for volunteers to become a part of this organization?
Yes, we'll take on volunteers. We're always looking for volunteers.
If somebody listening today and it has piqued their interest and they say they would like to be a part of this, and they volunteer, what are they going to be doing?
Well, there's a plethora of things they can be doing. They can help survivors become more acclimated to everyday life, so to speak. Mm-hmm. Volunteer with fundraising.
How many survivors do we have in Central Missouri?
That number I don't know. Quite a few.
There are.
And I went to a presentation that Nat Ward had done in Mexico. And I was talking to one of the survivor advocates, mm-hmm. and just in conversation, she was saying that there was a lot of victims of just sex trafficking that come through our ER in Mexico. They go unreported to law enforcement. And that hit me hard. I was like, well, why does that go? Why doesn't that get reported? Well, again, that goes to victims that are afraid to make mention.
All right. So if you want to help, you can go to the email address. It is help@stophumantraffickingmo.com. That's the email address, and that'll also give you the link for that Zoom event, which is on January the 6th. Thank you so much for joining us, Ed. We appreciate the work that you're doing. Continued success. Bye-bye.
Thank you.